when people ask me what I love about Greenwood, I go straight to it's the people, it's the students, it's the staff, it's the families. There's this positive energy at Greenwood, which is really, really lovely.
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private and independent schools to bring you insights into school programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administration. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I have had the privilege of being at Greenwood for over 20 years now. So I did start my professional journey at another independent school in the Toronto area. And after a few years, I then joined Greenwood as a teacher of physics and math and science. And the following year became the department head of mathematics and business. A few years after that, became the director of student learning and then director of personalized learning. So I continued on a journey of that really, really fed my passion for academics and for experiential learning and really cultivating, student growth and student engagement. So I was pretty lucky that way. And this then led into me becoming vice principal of student learning, then deputy head of school, and now the head of school and principal at Greenwood. So some of the biggest influences for me are people that I've worked with. I've had the privilege of working with two exceptional heads of school, both who had very different perspectives, and I've learned a great deal from both. So one head of school, Alan Hardy, who was just keenly aware of student learning needs and the need to really challenge students and help them grow and develop as individuals. And so he set me on my path of personalized learning, which I then continued through my master's at U of T, and always really holding that idea of the individual student and what does that individual need, and also who is that individual. So that's something we really, really strive for at Greenwood, is getting to know students for who they are, what are their interests, so we can really tap into those. Um, he also really guided my passion around engagement in the classroom. I've always been really interested in experiential learning. That came probably from my time as a camp counselor, canoe trip guide, really that connection to nature. I was an assistant director at a camp, so I have that experiential interest. And I was able to really bring that into the classroom and marry that with the need for student engagement in the classroom, in their day-to-day classroom life. I've been heavily influenced by methodologies that really draw on a student-centered approach. So getting the teacher out of the front, really having the teacher guide students through individual exploration, guide them through student-directed learning. I was one of the first people at Greenwood to develop blended learning courses many, many years ago, 15 plus years ago, developing, technology-rich courses that students could self-direct through. We since then really have just integrated tech into everything we do, right? So no longer do we have separate blended learning courses, but that passion for technology, tech-rich experiences, nature, and just engagement has really had a strong influence on me, definitely. Well, what resonates most with me is this notion of personalized learning that we really lean into at Greenwood. So the idea that every student is capable and capable of growth, and that every staff member is capable and capable of growth. So we really focus on people as individuals, and we really care about the people in our community. So when I think about the mission of Greenwood, there's a few different elements. There's an element of community, a strong community where people feel like they belong, feel like they're cared for. You feel that when you come into the building even. And people say that often, which is wonderful. I think it really rings true and it filters through into the classroom. So teachers really work to build a classroom community and a supportive community where students can take risks, try things. It's okay to be wrong. Um, and students really want to help each other to move forward. And then that also translates to our staff. So we really, really engage teachers in growth and development as well. This is really important because we strive to have really strong teachers at the school and teachers who take the time to really give students that individual attention, to give them the stretch that they need, right? And for that you need to help teachers develop those skills. Greenwood has a pretty unique culture, and it's built upon this idea of a true community. You can feel the community when you come into the building. There's definitely a welcoming atmosphere here, and it's something that we work on and we nurture. I personally think the community at Greenwood is second to none. When people ask me what I love about Greenwood, I go straight to it's the people, it's the students, it's the staff, it's the families. There's this positive energy at Greenwood, which is really, really lovely. And I often hear, Greenwood students enjoy being at school. Like what a pleasure, right? And not only that, the staff enjoy being here too. I think that's just wonderful. I love being part of this community where people really care about each other and you can feel it. So you feel that in our culture. Being able to provide a high academic program and high caliber academic program as well as support students' well-being is something Greenwood does incredibly well. And we hear that we do it very well. I think this comes in a couple different ways. Teachers and advisors both support this. So teachers are excellent at getting to know students, getting to know their needs, getting to know when they need a challenge and a stretch, and when they need a bit of support. And it could be on a different day, right? Depending on the topic. Mm-hmm. They also really listen to students. What are their needs at this time? So what do they have on their plate outside of this particular class? How are they as a person right now? What's going on for them? And they really listen and care. Our advisor program also really supports this. Our advisor program at Greenwood is second to none. It's absolutely incredible. The program itself is run through individual classes. So it's a timetabled course, which is very different than at other schools. Not everyone is an advisor. And so people choose to be an advisor who want to work with students in this way. So who want to be the supportive mentor to help students grow and develop skills. So to develop their academic skills, to develop their social emotional skills, to help them learn how to navigate, how to work through challenges, how to speak to teachers if they need to advocate. And all that goes together to really create a balanced situation that's personalized to every student. So the advisor and the teachers are both huge supports, the advisor being the number one advocate with and for the student, certainly. one of the few constants at Greenwood is change. So we tend to be incredibly nimble, we tend to be innovative, and we're constantly reflecting in an ongoing way on, how did that go? How could we improve? We are constantly looking to improve and grow as an organization, as a community, and as individuals within the school itself. So we really work to guide students to grow, but we apply that to to our own selves and to our community as well. So when I think about change, I mean, it's constant, it's ongoing. Right now, we're in the middle of a development where we're going to have a field put in place soon. But it's been a long time. It's been a couple years of getting permits and, you know, digging out the earth, replacing it. We're about to put the turf down, which is really exciting. And the field and the green space will be in place for students for years to come. This will be huge for the school because we have typically not a lot of green space of our own nearby. So when we do athletics practices, we often go off site unless it's a gym based sport. So this is going to be a total game changer for us to be able to have a green space where students can go eat lunch, where classes can go and be outside, do garden studies, nature studies. There's so much that can be done. Our health and physical education classes are really looking forward to being able to get outside and do athletics and sport training that's beyond the gym, right? As well as our athletics teams, it's really going to cut down on travel time. So it's pretty exciting, and we tend to be pretty good at change around here. We have a really, really engaged staff who are all in and they love what they do, which makes being nimble really easy with good communication, right? So that's always important as well. But we're pretty excited for the green space to open. The families at Greenwood are truly part of the community. I'll start by saying that. They're great. They're great people and they really want to partner with us, which is to me the most important thing. So our families support several initiatives at the school, whether it be decorating the school for Halloween, or supporting the used uniform sale, coming in and talking to classes in their area of expertise, judging our business case competition. I mean, it's endless what these fabulous people do. They also, as I said, really do partner with us to support and care for their child. And that's something that means a lot to the school. So that's something that we always start with when we're talking about a student. When we see a student needs a little more support or that they, need a little more stretch, we start with the parent and we start with the advisor and say, how can we support this child to continue growing? Like we want people to keep reaching and growing, right? So that partnership is huge. The key when there's any conflict or misunderstanding is listening. There's always something at the core of a conflict that is really important to the people involved. So first and foremost at Greenwood, we have several people who are trained in professional coaching. And this gives people those skills of listening, learning, asking questions openly. So, what is going on for you now? And I think that's a very important place to start. And then learning. So, being open and curious to learn what people need. You can't always give what people need, but you need to know first what's going on before you can really come to an agreement, which is always possible. It's always possible to be able to come to some sort of middle ground or agreement with people. I also think it's really important to see conflict as a way of growing. So from conflict, people can learn, whether it's learning about themselves, whether it's learning about what's really important to the other person and learning more about that. But there is this learning opportunity when people are open to it that I think is really important to glean from a conflict. I mean, no one likes conflict, but there's some real benefits to coming out the other side and to really looking at it as a growth opportunity. And I think that's important. I always start by really encouraging parents and prospective students to look at different schools and align what that school is about with what the individual student needs. Every independent school in Toronto is excellent. And student needs are individual and different, right? So to me, the idea is you need to look at what you're wanting and then match that, right? At Greenwood, we provide high caliber academics, and we guide each student to grow as an individual. So that's one thing that you would get at Greenwood. Our advisor program is outstanding. It's run through a timetabled course. Students have regular contact with their advisor, who then becomes their key champion along their education journey. Our alumni are confident self-advocates who contribute to their community. So I say to people, if you're looking for a school that's innovative, that prioritizes excellent teaching, that really cares about individual students, and really cares about community and creating a place where every person feels like they belong, then Greenwood's the place for you. At Greenwood, we really feel that this is a place for all students. So we strive to create a welcoming environment where everyone belongs. The type of student who does particularly well at Greenwood is someone who wants to be involved, who's ready to tackle a challenge, and who wants to be part of a community. An example of this is our students go on outdoor education trips twice a year, once in the fall, once in the winter. And on these trips, students develop bonds, friendships, and build character skills such as perseverance, collaboration, problem solving, resilience. So students who are up for a challenge and want to really dig in and grow together in a community are always going to do well at Greenwood.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.